You're listening to the Rebel Connect podcast, powered by Rebel Strength and Performance. Community isn't built by luck. It's built by people who show up every day, take risks, and create real impact. I'm Derek Talish, owner of Rebel Strength and Performance, along with co-host Melissa Jaquinto. We sit down with Rebel members, local business owners, community leaders, and change makers. You'll hear their success stories and the way they're building community and legacy right where you live. Want to stay inspired and connected? Subscribe or follow the show so you never miss an episode. This is Rebel Connect, where local stories become lasting impact.
Rebel Connect. Rebel Connect.
Rebel Connect is here today. Melissa, Derek, and Ryan. No one's in our way.
Oh.
And we know just what to say.
Oh, no, I didn't know I was continuing. I wasn't ready. I'm so
That's
sorry.
pretty good. Squidward. Guys, welcome to another episode of Rebel Connect. Today we are going to be talking about, well, first and foremost, I have Ryan and Melissa with me here today. Obviously, another fun one. Today we're going to be talking about intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation for exercise, realistically speaking. This is one of the most important and fun topics I think that we're going to be talking about because there's so many different reasons that people have for exercise. And at first glance, you might not always see them. So I think today we're going to start with talking about our own motivation and reasons that we work out. And then I want to talk about some of the most fun ones that we see at Rebel and some of the most impactful and meaningful ones in a facility that is so lighthearted and fun. We have a lot of serious that goes on behind the scenes as well. And this is just one of them. So without further, I'd love to hear Melissa first.
Self-loathing? No, I'm kidding. The main reason I work out is for my mental clarity, I would say. I was always active growing up and knew that it made me clearer, and if I had a certain period of time where I didn't work out, I felt the effects of that mentally. So I definitely do it to keep me at baseline and to clear my head a little bit, I would say, is definitely my biggest. Obviously, everyone wants to look better, and obviously, because I'm in this field, I find it insanely cool that we can dictate our decisions to make our bodies do what we want it to do and manipulate it, and I think that's really, really cool. So that's another reason that I love it and do it. And I think it's changed a little bit for me. I know you were talking about this in the car on the way here. It's definitely changed a little bit from when I started versus now.
Always does.
When I started, it was put your body through as much as you can and see what happens, pretty much, and lift the heaviest weights possible, and let's see what my body can do. And the older I get, it's more so I want to hit, obviously, those physique goals and push myself, but I'm not going to be silly about it to the point where I'm injured, and I do want to feel good as I continue to age. So those are kind of my main reasons.
Very fair.
Yeah.
Ryan, why don't you exercise? I'm sorry. It's a run. I'm sorry.
We're going to be here all day.
Guys, disclaimer, it is a running joke that we always say that Ryan does not exercise just simply because when Ryan comes to Rebel, Ryan works at Rebel. Ryan does not love to exercise at work. He exercises later in the evening when he does other things. He plays recreational. But I don't want to take over here, but I am joking. Ryan exercises.
And they never see it, so they don't believe it, but it happens. I'll start with just real quick. I don't really work out at Rebel a lot. When I tell people that, they're so confused. They're like, "You pay for a gym membership?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's close to my house." And for reference, I'm about 20 minutes away from Rebel, so to come in on an off day or to get something in between, I always prefer to work out kind of like after the day is over, just because I need food in me. I'm never going to go right after coaching right into a workout. I definitely like to prioritize getting the food or carbs in me. And number two, I can't do it before I coach because unlike Melissa somehow, I can do 2 sets of anything and I'll be dripping sweat and no members want to smell me throughout the day. So I can guarantee
He's a man for the people.
You're welcome.
Yes,
everyone.
correct.
But why I work out, really just to keep myself healthy. And by healthy, for me right now, that means keeping myself able to jump around and do all the things that I want to do, like playing basketball. I love playing basketball in the winter. Summer is for golf and
Men's softball.
Men's
Yeah.
softball.
Yeah.
That's right. We need some more respect on men's softball. It's a tough game.
Breach.
Um,
It's a
but
sport. It's an absolute sport.
Yeah.
Should be Olympic.
My team
Yeah,
needs me
uh-huh.
out there, and I want to be available for them whenever I can. But I just don't want to. I want to make it as far through life as I can without having those like random pains. And I do get them from time to time. Like if I'm playing 3 hours of basketball, I'm gonna be hurting sometimes. And using what I know and what I do on a daily basis at Rebel to kind of make that a very minimal thing has been very valuable for me. So I just really like to make sure that my body is moving the way I want to be able to move without me thinking about it twice.
So he doesn't break his ankles. We don't want him breaking ankles.
My ankles are strong now.
No.
Very
They used to call
strong.
me ankle boy. Now they call me ankle man. The first part's true. The
Get you
second
a
part's
shirt
not.
that says that.
Ankle man.
No, they used to call me ankle boy because I used to play spike ball with an ankle brace on.
Oh,
No more of that. No more ankle brace spike ball wins.
never.
Wins.
Love it.
Derek?
It's so funny because I've realized in the car on the way here I've been lifting for 20 years, and when I first started at 13, I started for a couple different reasons. It was something that I learned very quickly I was in control of, and at that age, you're not in control of a whole lot in your life. It's very regimented, it's very structured, and I could directly influence, like you just kind of said, both of you, you could directly influence my body and the way I looked and performed. When I started, it was vanity, it was aesthetic, it was ego, it was all those typical things that a teenage boy would go through, right? With that, it changed over the years. Now, at 33, I have a family, a very large family. I have responsibilities. I have limited time. It's not about how hard can I push myself anymore. I enjoy pushing myself, but it's no longer about strictly vanity and performance. That said, I have something, greater that I look towards, which is the future. I want to make sure that my body can perform as well as it can for as long as it can. I've left certain things behind. I used to do backflips. I used to deadlift 600 pounds. I used to squat 500 pounds. I used to bench press as much as I could, and at this point in time, I don't value those things necessarily. I value certain parts of it, but I don't care anymore about how strong I get. I care about how I feel. And that is kind of a funny realization for me because I've entered into the realm of what a lot of our adult members feel. And my workout journey is now kind of, in a lot of ways, it feels not complete, but evolved. It feels like I've started out I've got that youthful approach to lifting, and now I have like a little bit more of a seasoned veteran approach where I'm looking to challenge myself, I'm looking to stress my body, but I'm not looking to see how hard I can push it to the point where I think it's almost going to break. And that's really why I actually hired a coach. I've hired a coach. Melissa's now my coach. Melissa keeps me regimented. She makes sure that my workouts are getting in, and that's 100% needed. And in a lot of ways, I've become exactly who a Rebel member is, right? So that's the funny thing that I've experienced. That's my long-winded explanation as to why I work out. I work out for my health. I work out because, like many of us, I don't think that mentally I'd be as strong as I am if I didn't exercise on a regular basis. Those are all super important things, and it's kind of become kind of like a full circle experience for me. And that's like it's a funny realization. And with that said, we have a lot of different members at Rebel, and I want to go through some of our favorite stories of people and who they are and why they work out. We're not going to use anybody's names, right? But I think that I have a couple on my mind. Ryan, do you have any?
Oh, I got a few.
I can tell.
I
Give me some
definitely have
stories.
one. So older woman that I absolutely love training, and it's because she is so present when she's working out and loves trying new things. I sometimes have her doing things that a 20-something-year-old guy or girl looks at and are like, whoa, like, you're having people do that? Like, that's crazy. I don't think I could do that. And she's 50 years older than them, and she's doing it flawlessly. And she, like, loves doing stuff like that, and it just goes back to that idea of, like, what does fitness look like to you? Like, what do you want to get better at? And it just looks, when it looks so different from what you're used to, it's so refreshing to see. And I just love having her come in, because I know that if I say, hey, like, let's try this, she's going to be excited about it, and the energy that she puts into that is almost like infectious. Maybe someone else will come up. I've had multiple times where she's doing something kind of crazy, and people come up and go, like, can I try that? I go, yeah, let's do it. And it's just fun for everyone to bond over.
But something that's so powerful about that is the feeling that that person is getting.
Yeah.
The empowerment. The look what I can do when I've applied myself over a long period of time. I don't even know who you're talking about, right? But that is the most powerful thing ever when they come into a gym and they feel like they're pushing themselves out of the comfort zone like that.
And it's inspiring, too, for
everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
I'll go into a more deeper one, I guess. I was sitting down with a woman for an evaluation one time, and she was telling me about how her parents are getting older, and she sees how poorly her father moves around, and how that kind of has driven her to exercise, that she sees what she doesn't want to be like when she's older. And I think that's a big one that I honestly think everyone is like that in a sense. I don't think anybody has ever looked at someone who maybe doesn't move around as well and think, wow, I really hope that I don't end up like that one day. And that's a big driver for a lot of people that we train also, is seeing family members who maybe don't move around well, who are sick, who didn't prioritize their health and the effects of that, and they don't want to end up that way.
I used to say it was right around 50 years old, and unfortunately I find that it's more around 45 years old now, where you have a lot of people start to come in, and they might not say it at first, but the reality is you start to come to know that they had a friend or a family member that was similar in age to them, and they had an unexpected health scare or something worse, God forbid. And that is oftentimes the driver to start to kick them into gear for starting to exercise. And you become aware of some people sooner than later. You know, some people, like, I think for me, I am very aware of mortality. And I think that some people become painfully aware of it in those instances. And that is a big thing that kicks off the exercise journey. I also have I have a few of them that come to mind. One man that is now a member for a Rebel for 6 years, he came to me and he said, I am on Wall Street. I am in a young man's industry. I manage a ton of people who are 20, 30 years younger than me. My boss is 25 years younger than me, and I need to be a physical presence. And if I'm going to be taken seriously in this young, quote-unquote, young man's field, I am going to make sure that I'm a physical presence and I'm not in any way, shape, or form seen as somebody who can't hang. And I think that was incredibly powerful, something that you would never at first glance think when you see somebody, right? But that was that guy's. And one of my favorite ones that I've ever seen, and I'll tell the story of the commercial, but it's relevant for 25% of our members at least. It was a Super Bowl commercial years ago, and there was an old gentleman. He was he's probably I don't remember exactly. He's probably late 70s maybe, and he's seen working out by himself, and it's all different hours of the day, all different times, all different. It's through the entire year he's working out by himself, and all he's doing is he's picking up a kettlebell. He's raising it little by little, and he's pressing it up. He can't quite do it. And you're watching this guy, and at first you're looking at this old man struggle. You're watching this old man barely able to raise it up over his head. And then all of a sudden, he starts to lift it. And the seasons are changing. The leaves are coming down. The snow is coming. And he starts to lift it, and all of a sudden it's snowing, and he's lifting the kettlebell up over his head, and you're like, what is this guy doing? And then all of a sudden it flashes to a scene where his family is there. And I believe his little granddaughter runs in, right, with his kid, with his child. And his granddaughter runs in, and he runs over to her, and she says, Grandpa, pick me up. And he picks her up, and she puts the star on the very top of the tree, like that. and you just see it is the
Awesome.
most pure and
I
beautiful.
think I cried when I saw that
It is the
commercial.
most pure and beautiful commercial. I do not know what the commercial was for.
I think it was it.
It was a
Nike?
car commercial.
I think it was a car
no
commercial.
way.
A car commercial.
I honestly
No
think it was
way
a
it was
car
a car
commercial.
commercial. Always the
It
car
was the most
commercials.
beautiful commercial I've ever seen because that exemplifies what we are doing for people. We are restoring those moments for them. We are helping them create memories. And that is such a big lasting impact. And it's something that I became aware of probably way sooner than most. And it's something that we lay into people on day one. But that's such a big thing for members, right? That's such a big thing for our members and making sure that they can own those life moments, that they can
Off-scale wins.
be
Yeah.
a part
Non-scale
of them.
victories, right?
Yes, non-scale victories. And in a world where everything is so scale-driven right now, like how important is that? How important is it to be able to keep that going and have those moments enrich your life?
I think it reminds me and kind of ties into another member I'm thinking of who he started just to lose weight, normal goals, right? And a few months go by. This is one of our most consistent members. He's been with us for years now, has dropped a ton of weight. And I remember maybe like a month or two into him training, he stopped me and said, "Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I got out of bed yesterday and my back didn't hurt. And I realized that it hasn't been hurting. And I didn't even know that happened." And I think that those types of wins are what also keep people going and keep people motivated to show that, with a little bit of effort, you don't have to feel the way that you have been feeling and that you can flip the script on your health. And I think that's something that drives people all the time. I'm sure each one of us has felt some sort of benefit from exercise physically that you're like, oh, wow, that pain went away, or I feel better doing this, I feel better doing that. And those are the motivators that keep you coming back also.
That just made me think of another member. He has probably been a rebel member for about 2 years now. Started for the same reasons of like mortality, wanting to be around for his kids, like just overall health and like dropping a couple pounds. And then come to find out that he's in a softball league with 20-year-olds through 50, 60-year-olds, and he has the highest batting average. And he comes in and he's like telling us, and he's all excited about it, and it's one of the most like refreshing things to hear, that his like personal life is so positively affected by something that he cares about. And that might be a reason that he continues to come in. Like, he sees that my abilities are enhanced when I'm doing this. And you might not always want to do it, but you know that if you take it a day at a time and do what you know you should be doing, that there's going to be all kinds of different things, serious and more just, for lack of a better term, non-serious things that you just want, and that's important for like human life.
It's a challenging thing too to think about, like the start of people's journey and how sometimes it takes a little bit of time. One particular person that comes to mind for me is this one young lady. She was a member a long time. She moved away, and we were first starting out, and she had Erica's phone number in her phone for, I think she said 3 months. And she would look at the contact, and she'd look at the phone number, and she'd be just short of calling. And she did this for maybe 3 months, and then finally she got the courage to call Erica. Hey, you were recommended to me. I'm looking to lose some weight for my wedding. I'm looking to lose me. If I could lose 5 pounds, I'd be so happy. She was 6 months out from her wedding. And Erica's like, yep, you got to come down. She was so nervous on her first day. Erica did her evaluation. Next thing you know, she's starting to get a little bit more comfortable. And she's popping into the gym, and she's excited and, dare I say, having fun. She came in wanting to lose 5 pounds for her wedding. She ended up losing 35 pounds before her wedding. And she did not even realize that she had lost that much weight. And she came in, and it was... maybe it was the final fitting list. What's that, about a week before?
Yeah.
Final fitting for her dress. And she comes in and she looks at Erica and I, and she was like, my dress didn't fit. And we kind of like looked at her for a second. She goes, they had to take it down another 2 inches. And she was just beyond excited and happy over all of her hard work. And that is, again, what it's all about. My God, how many mothers and daughters have we helped before weddings, right? And how much confidence that they've gained from those moments, and that they've taken care of their health outside of that afterwards. Like, I love weddings for that, because there's such a call to action, and it's a call to action that can oftentimes stick, right? So people start to do something that they wouldn't have normally done, but now they have an event to plan for. They have something to look forward to. And then after that, they start to continue on that path for fitness.
That's like, I feel like a great example of how, like, it doesn't really matter why you start. Like, it can sometimes start with the extrinsic motivators that you get of, like, wanting to look good for a certain event, but then it always comes back to the intrinsic motivators that keep you going for way longer and keep you way more committed of, like, what's your actual individual why inside of you. What do you want out of it, not just for what other people perceive, which is awesome.
1,000%. And you know what, too? Like, the motivation, whatever kind it is, it gets you there. And then it's up to us to kind of help build the habit, right?
Yep.
It's like, it's such a funny thing, because motivation is not always present actively, but the habit can be, So getting yourself involved, getting yourself started is so important. It comes and goes, and then let's get the habits in place too, And that is really what it's all about, the consistency of it all, and the global view of, all right, how am I going to make this work over the long run?
Melissa, I have a question
Oh,
for
gosh.
you.
Yes, Ryan.
If you had to choose an event to train for, like, what is, like, something that you could, that's, like, external, that, like, wouldn't really be, like, a huge burning driving factor for you? What's something fun that you would want to maybe train for?
Oh, it's
You
really
don't actually have to do
difficult.
it, but, like
No, I
something
know that's
fun.
really difficult. I think the High Rocks is really cool.
Really?
Honestly, I
I
do.
was-
I would consider doing one. I think that they're very cool, and obviously they're very, like, popular now.
Yeah.
They're kind of coming up in the popularity ranks. I've seen so many people doing them, and they look cool and fun.
I could mess with that.
Yeah.
I could mess with that. I've always wanted to do a Spartan race.
That's what I was going to say.
I would mess with a Spartan race for sure. I don't really want to push a sled. Sorry, High Rocks.
It's
Or
fine.
do a burpee broad jump.
High
I
Rocks
would-
may
I would
kill
if
me.
I had to.
I never said it would be fun. I just said that I
I'm-
would do it.
Yeah. But I would definitely do a Spartan race. Is that where we're going? Do you want to do a Spartan race with me?
So me and Dirk are looking for participants to join us in a Spartan race.
I would do a Spartan race.
We should get a bunch of rebels to do a Spartan race.
Yeah,
That'd be
absolutely.
sick.
That's fun.
My
Right,
friend
keep
did
cooking.
one
I'm gonna
last
look
year
up
in
on it.
April. It's in Vernon, and it's like 6 miles, 25 obstacles, and he said it was so much fun, and he had a lot of fun training for it. And I feel like leading into one of, like, the next things, like, I think is somewhat important, is kind of like keeping it fresh, changing up your goals. Like, this Spartan race, if I were to do it, when I do it,
Yeah, when you do
when
it.
I do it, it's gonna, like, give me something new to train for. Like, I'm gonna have to carry heavy things for long distances, so I'm gonna have to practice.
April 25th, 2026, the 2026 Tri-State New Jersey Spartan Trifecta Weekend.
Yes, sir.
I'm
Sprint,
in.
Super Beast, Ultra, and Kids Race. Okay,
Should we
can
do
add
it?
some-
There's tons of different
Yeah,
options.
do you want to do it?
Yeah.
I met Joe DeSena last year.
Oh, I'll
He's
do
the
it.
one who created Spartan Race. So we have, I believe, a deal for all of Rebel to
We
get
should
this.
so do it.
My friends are already
tremendously,
signed up. I'm doing it with them.
Yeah, this could
I
be
am-
advantageous.
I am in.
It's at Mountain Creek.
Gives you that something new to train for, and it keeps it, like, fun, and it's, like,
So you've got like
awesome.
Sprint 5K, it's 20 obstacles. Sprint, the Super 10K is 25 obstacles. 21K, 30 obstacles. What's the biggest one? Oh my God, 50K.
Oh my god.
Oh
Missed me
my-
with that. Give me the 10K.
How many-
I
wait,
can't-
what
the
is that?
10 sounds good.
What is that? For
That's
the
got to be like 2 days. Were you out there
50K?
camping? Like
What's 50K?
50K. It's like
If
Well, 1
5K
mile
is
is
3 miles, that's got to be what, 30?
30 miles.
33 miles.
Oh
something
my
like that?
gosh,
Yeah,
we
no,
are
I'm
not
messing with
doing that.
You could
But
probably
run a
get me to do a
marathon.
10K.
10.
Yeah, I could do 10.
We
I
would
could
do
do
10.
Because it's
10K.
like for 25 obstacles, 10K. It's like every quarter mile. Like I'll be fine.
I just imagine Ryan going through the obstacles, beating everybody, and just leaving the group and going and doing it on his own.
I would.
You would be so good at the obstacles.
This is like-
and you
Do you
know
want to
it.
train for this?
Yeah.
Yes. We have
Alright.
the rings.
Alright.
We have climbers.
So, guys, we're going to do a Spartan race on April 26th. Okay?
Yeah.
We are formally going to do a Spartan race on April 26th as a facility. And we're going to help you train for that.
Did I just manifest that?
Yeah, you
Did I do
did.
that?
Yeah, you did. Let's,
what you were
let's
trying to
formally
do?
put that out
I
there.
don't know, maybe.
All right, cool.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Sick.
On that note, guys, podcast is done today. Apparently, we're doing a Spartan race. I hope you all stay motivated. If you're not, we're going
We're
to
gonna
drag
make
you
you
through
be
a Spartan
motivated.
race with us.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of Rebel.
Connect.
Till next time.
You could say podcast. You could say podcast.
Do it again.
Deuces.